Biden's dog boy.
Oh, God.
This is going to be an interesting conversation because we're going to talk about, well, dog play, puppy play. I'm not sure what is the right term, frankly. But this is a story that comes about because Biden's administration needed some new guy for some new role in the Department of Energy and thought, who do we pick? Well, let's pick someone weird because it'll be fun, presumably.
This is not the first time either.
No.
Are you familiar with the concept of bio-Leninism?
I've heard of it. I can't remember. Is it you purposely pick like the form?
Well, you may remember that Lenin took the absolute scum of the earth,
right,
and overthrew the provisional government, imposes a horrific tyranny on Russia, kills millions of people, and bio-Leninism is picking those most freakish.
Oh, so then they'll be most loyal to you because they're just freaks.
Because they get nowhere in a society that values virtue or beauty or truth. And therefore, these people are the fringe margin that you try and bring into a coalition to overthrow the normals. Those people who are not degenerate freaks.
The coalition of ugly.
Yes.
Frankly.
Yes.
And then the ugly will make you their king.
Yes, which is why all of these left-wing activists turn out to be like absolutely hideous-looking individuals.
That's one way of looking at this, and I'm not entirely convinced about this in this particular instance, and we'll go through it, because we may have a disagreement, I wonder.
Okay.
So as we can see, let's get this first tweet up. So this is the character of this
Sam Brinton.
epilogue. I have some pretty big news to share with you all today. I have accepted the offer to serve as the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Spent Fuel and Waste Disposal in the Office of Nuclear Energy for the Department of Energy. So he's going to go and work to get rid of nuclear waste.
Okay.
Doesn't seem bad. Yeah, seems fine. If he's good at it. If we go to the next one, we can see just here's an example of him talking about nuclear news. And he says the governor of Virginia, Jim Justice, has signed a new law reversing the 1996 ban on nuclear power plants.
Great.
Good. Again.
I'm very pro-nuclear power.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who cares about power and doesn't like nuclear at this point just comes off as suspect.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally the safest, the most productive, and has caused the least deaths.
It seems fairly normal. And you think, okay, guy who knows a lot about nuclear, perfect for the job.
Great.
Except, of course, he's a bit of a creep. And that's why I did the story. Because if we go to the next one, we can see, for stars, he's a pronoun creep. And you can see how I think it's a he, is dressed there. And let's play the first clip of him talking about his pronouns.
I use they and them as my pronouns.
Of course you do.
And when someone uses they and them as my pronouns, I feel like that person is listening to me. That person cares about me, and that person wants to have a conversation with me. Pronouns are a fascinating part of modern culture. I don't think many people think about them very often until someone like myself or others say their pronouns. So when I introduce myself, I generally say, hi, my name's Sam Brinton. I use they and them as my pronouns, and I serve as head of advocacy and government affairs for the Trevor Project. Things that companies and schools can do are, on the first day of classes, and for maybe the first week, having a sticker where you tell people, hi, my name is Sam, my pronouns are they and them. It's also really important to recognize that pronouns change sometimes. Many of us will not always have the same pronouns, because our gender is changing, or our gender realization has changed. I think that's really, really important for us to say that the flexibility of your personality should be something that we can respect, and the flexibility of your gender identity is something that we can respect. Pronouns are confusing. I'm not going to say that they're not. But if I can have the President of the United States use my gender-neutral pronouns, and I can respectfully use theirs, then I think we're going to be in a world where everyone can be respected.
No.
Just flat out no. But I think the bio-Leninism thesis is looking a lot more strong now.
You're getting your argument in there. The reason I played all that is because it's a now this piece in which you're trying to promote the whole thing.
Yeah, but this again comes back to Matt Walsh's argument. You don't get to choose your own pronouns, just like you don't get to choose your own adjectives.
No. But it's also, he destroys his own argument in his promotion of pronoun tyranny, which is like, yeah, no one ever thinks about this until they interact with some freak like me, who for some reason uses they, them, as if I got split personality disorder, because of course I do. And also, I might just change them tomorrow. I mean, remember, he just said in the middle of there, what if some days we just change them to different ones? It's like, yeah, could you show that you're not taking this seriously any more clearly?
But moreover, it's like, okay, I use they, them pronouns. Like when? When have you ever said, they, I'm going to the toilet now?
They is sad.
Yeah, them is unhappy. So you don't use your own pronouns. Why would you ever use your own pronouns?
Like, I know some people will try and defend this, but just I'm not even listening at this point, frankly, because it's just dumb.
I am
But-
prepared to hear the argument and laugh at it, though. So
Yeah,
go ahead and make it.
That's cringe and silly and whatever. But he knows nuclear waste disposal, so come on.
Doesn't end here, does it?
Nah, don't. Let's go to the next one because he's a dog costume fetishist.
Oh, he's the one they've got the litter trays for.
Not him. No. He's the adult.
Oh, he's the adult
Yes.
in the relationship,
We
right?
can click on that left image there. I mean, and again, I'm going to preface this off.
Oh my God.
I've said many a time, and I'll continue to say I'm very liberal about people's weird fetishes and kinks.
But we're getting into Weimar territory here.
It's not even that. It's just keep it in your bloody bedroom. But look at where he is.
Well, I mean, this is literally Weimar territory.
Where is he? Is that his bedroom?
No, it's
Is that
a
his mate's
castle.
house? That's a university lecture hall.
Yes.
I can see the whiteboards,
Yes.
the screens for the projectors.
Yes.
The hell is wrong with you? I mean, just on a basic level of just decency, for one, just stop.
Bring back conscription.
Yeah, so we can see him here with his three mates, all dressed up in dog costumes.
Mates. Very good use of the term.
It's a couple of blokes. His chums. I feel like, when British people are in old-timey stories are always in like a really weird sexual situation, they become suddenly very polite about the whole thing.
Well, I imagine they would, yeah.
Him and his friends, they were very good friends.
Patriots.
Sniffing each other's asses. as friends do with his damn daddy shirt. And
I am disgusted beyond words.
there's another one. But there we go. Okay, people do weird things. And if he kept it in his bedroom, no one would care. I mean, this one, for example, this is clearly some kind of shoot or
I'm just going to be
sex
clear,
club or
Callum.
some
I
crap.
would care. I care that there are people in society who go around doing this stuff,
Sure.
even in the privacy of their own home. I'm beyond. I'm beyond this tolerance.
What
at
you
this
do in your
point.
bedroom is my business.
It is now. Okay.
But the point being, for me,
It's disgusting.
just the previous one, it's just like, well, you're
But
at a
this
university.
this is a symptom of a civilization in rapid decline. That's all I'm saying.
Just more and more kinks.
Well, this person is never going to be a productive member of the great chain of civilization, right?
Yeah,
They're not contributing anything to the future. They are being utter degenerates in the present.
50% of the time, I agree.
In the face of what they have inherited from their ancestors. I mean, do you think this person's parents are proud? I doubt it. But anyway.
Probably not of this part of their life, that's for sure.
Exactly.
But again, I mean, the nuclear waste management part, I'm going to keep
brilliant.
in mind. But if we go to the next one, he's also just a creepy leftist, as I just checked out his Instagram, and there's stuff like this, where it's just a picture of a kid with a sign saying, when I grow up, I want to be a dismantler of systemic oppression.
Well, don't worry. I intend to be an enabler of systemic oppression.
Your mother's brought you here, have you? You wrote that sign yourself, did you? It's just creepy. I know. I never like seeing stuff like this. But that's,
Yeah, but I'm pro-systemic
let's go
oppression.
to the next one, because of course he's also got a puppy blog about being a man with a puppy. Let's read some of this. In the pup community, handlers function the same way dog owners do, keeping a watchful eye on their charge and reining in the pups if needed.
Dying civilization.
It's the handlers who train the pups and teach them discipline, doling out rewards or punishment based on good or bad behavior. The headspace is equivalent to the mum who sees her kid in danger or dad who wants to teach his son how to play football, says Newbie's 27-year-old handler, Sam, the guy we're talking about.
This is the most disgusting surrogate activity I have ever seen in my life.
It's the concept of a teacher and a nurturer. My job is to make sure that while he's in the headspace, I'm keeping him safe. The first time I've met Sam, it was at the Eagle at a pup night just like this 6 or 7 months ago, recalls Newbie. He was handling me at that pup night, but I didn't get super deep into the headspace because there wasn't that trust yet. The longer I've been his pup, the easier it is for me to get deeper into that headspace with him because there's trust. And he goes on and on about him talking about pup space.
And for no reason at all.
I do know there's memes. There's good memes. I'm trying to remember because there was one other in here where he just said, yeah, I can hear when pups need something faster because the difference in the grunts and moans, says Sam. It's just like, yeah, this is weird. This is very weird.
Why are we allowing these absolute degenerates to make their sexual fetishes the primary focus of our conversations?
Sam says both of us have other partners. So we come to this space and then we come out of it knowing the boundaries of where your kink and non-kink relationships begin and end. So that's not even his husband. He has like a husband boyfriend. I'm not even sure on his Instagram, and presumably newbie's someone else he spends his time with in the evenings. Never
Genetic dead ends should be scorned.
Yeah,
the parasites on civilization that they are.
I always love the British acronym of just like when there's two gay guys back in the day. Just be like, yeah, roommates, never married. Just never
Confirmed bachelors. Yeah. And that's fine and respectable. This is disgusting and degenerate.
Yeah, there's complaints, of course. I see John's highlighting there. People will say, oh, you want to have sex with animals or you have trauma with animals or something like that.
I did have some horrible childhood trauma that made me like to have sex with animals. Holy shit.
No, that's a misinterpretation, as you can say. That.
Oh, is
He's
it?
saying some people say this, but it's not
Oh,
the case.
right, okay, right.
So there's all that. And there's the thing as well. It's I'll read one more because it's weird. I actually have trouble when we transition from pup play to having sex, Sam explains. Quote, like, no, I can't have you whimper like that when we're having sex because I don't want to mix that world. He has some limits. He's very respectful.
Boundaries, please.
Yeah,
okay, look I'm happy for us to play as master and dog, but we've got to have some boundaries. Not during sex. That would be gross.
So Sam, he's got some roles there. Newbie, not so much, apparently. Apparently Newbie is far more into that, which... but again, this is a pup night at some club where they do this. And whatever, and then he goes home and presumably does this with his boyfriend as well, or something. I think because otherwise, who else are you sharing your
The
kinks
sexual
with?
revolution and its consequences were a disaster for the human race.
It's very strange. But if we go to the next one, well, I've also seen this in person, and I've mentioned it. This is just my Flickr account here, as you can see.
Oh yeah, they asked you if you were a Jew, didn't
This
they?
is Swindon. No, this is Swindon Pride.
Oh, this is a different one.
It's in Reading, where I met the Labour Party. They asked me if I was a Jew,
Right, that's
which was perfectly normal conversation. Can I take your photo? Are you a Jew? No? Oh, then go ahead. Okay, Labour.
So this was the other Labour Party conference in Swindon.
Yeah. So this was Swindon Pride we went to, and in the middle you could see some guy with...
Seriously, there's a quick thing. How many of these people do you think vote Conservative?
There was a Conservative stand there of like two guys in their 50s.
There we go.
And I won't
There wasn't a Labour stand because it's understood that the rest of them vote Corbyn.
There was a Labour
stand. Look at these people.
There was a Labour stand.
Look at the little chin. Go back to the left, John. Look at the absolute lack of chin. This bio-Leninism thing. Look at them. And the vegan in the background with the sallow cheeks. Like, look at them. This bio-Leninism thing has some legs, man.
Welcome back to Carl Critiques Random Strangers.
Well, look at them.
But it wasn't...
Virtue is effervescent, Callum. It radiates out. You can't deny
It
it.
was a struggling environment.
Also, vice.
And these people were doing this, and you could see that that's that. And if we go to the next one, this is also, of course, a family-friendly event, as I've mentioned in the past. This was also the place where people dressed up in furry costumes in front of kids.
Yeah.
And it's a And I think this really gets, at least the way I mentioned the nub of the issue, if nothing else. Don't do this in public. If we can ask one thing, if we can set one barrier in the West, just not in public. Is that too much to ask? Do your puppy weirdness. Do it. I don't care.
Don't take your sexy fursuit nonsense to kids.
Just not.
Like, you've had sex in that goddamn suit?
I don't buy that you haven't.
Yeah, exactly. Don't even pretend.
Last time we mentioned this, there were people saying, "Oh, I just wear the suits."
This is a sexual fetish. Don't lie to me.
But I don't do it for sexual reasons. It's like, well, why is it a fetish then? But
don't lie
leave
to
that
me.
there. But let's go back to the energy qualifications of Sam. Besides his puppy play,
on, then.
And as you can see here, this is his Instagram where he celebrates getting the best nuclear
High
costume.
heel race.
Yes. So, go to the next one. We can see that costume.
I can't believe he won a high heel race.
Put on a woman's dress and stuck a radiation sign on it. Tough work. And then we go to the last one because he does actually have some qualifications.
Oh, great.
Other than his seamstressy, or whatever it's called. It says in here.
I mean, he looks like a Batman villain.
Yeah.
He actually looks like a Batman villain.
My husband sometimes describes me as a weird kind of Batman. I hadn't shown Carl any of this, so that wasn't staged at all. There is some meme-matic energy around all of this. And why, you might ask, he says. Because by day, I have to save lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning. There's a Q in there now, on top of the queer. Youth from suicide. And by night, I work to save the world from nuclear waste related to environmental disasters.
Right, so you're evil Batman.
And he says he has a dual master's in nuclear engineering and TPP. I don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. My time at MIT was spent coming out and coming into my own, while nuclear engineering students told me the only reason I was admitted to the institute was because of my diversity fellowship.
Which I would believe.
I don't know the ins and outs of that, but if you did have a diversity fellowship, that is why you're there, mate. Let's be frank. TPP students never imagined putting me in that kind of box, he says. And, right. This is the character of the candidate that has been hired for the Department of Energy to deal with nuclear waste management. Is this appropriate? And I would have thought no, and I'm on the side of no. I think we probably agree on that, on the basis of the public puppy play stuff, frankly.
I think you'll need to go back to church.
No, what the hell's wrong with you? But at the same time, even with all the queer weirdness stuff and whatever, and the alphabet endorsements, okay, sure. On that stuff, I think we may have a disagreement because I do agree in the tolerance of the STEM community.
I don't believe in tolerating science either.
I know you don't believe in tolerating science, but I am very proud, especially in the physics department, of just the level of tolerance with regards to political weirdos. And I mean, like the famous example is always given of NASA just openly hiring Nazis after the war.
That's a new level of tolerance.
It was like Werner von Braun. It's like, yeah, he had Jewish slaves working for him in his operations, but he makes a good rocket. So, I mean, again, another point for the amorality of science, but that is the point. Is to not, well, it should be the point of anyone who takes this seriously is, yeah, we're not here to do morality. That's for other people to constrain us.
I mean, that's become blatantly evident.
This is another example where you may say there is some immorality taking place. But I think you could probably hire him in some kind of non-publicly facing role to deal with nuclear management. And that would be appropriate.
I suppose you could, yeah.
And that would be fine.
Yeah.
I expected you to disagree and be like, nah, degeneracy.
Yeah, I mean, he could slop out the nuclear waste buckets or whatever they use.
By night and by morning.
That's fine.
Have his dog slop out the bowl. I don't
know what they do. It's not my fetish. I have no idea, but that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's the thing. It's just like again, be as weird as you want, but for the love of God, just not in public. If you want to do a public-facing role, for good.
But why would the Biden administration put him here? This is the question. This is done deliberately.
He does have a nuclear engineering degree.
Yeah, but
he is
specialized. So many other people.
No, he is specialized in dealing with nuclear waste. That is what his specialization is, and his work, from as far as I can tell.
Sure, but he's not like the only person, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
And they've got diversity quotas.
This isn't actually the easiest person to find, is my understanding.
Yeah. Well, really.
I mean, he's the lowest of the low in regards to all the other aspects you might want in the candidate.
They've got a bunch of diversity quotas. This is an administration that views and values diversity. They're not going to get a guy in a suit.
No, I mean, it definitely, if someone can find the guy in the suit who is looking for the role and was looked over.
Or this guy, they're going to be like, oh, wow, he's so diverse.
I mean, number one, the guy in the suit should sue. And, I mean, he'll win.
Yeah.
Take it all the way to Supreme Court,
there are lots
you will
of
definitely
examples
win.
of this,
yeah, especially in the United States. But otherwise, that is Biden's dog boy, and I mentioned that it is Biden's dog boy because, well, it is Biden's administration that hired him, and apparently directly on the lines of that position. So, there we have it. Another day in the West.
If you enjoyed that segment from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, you can always go to lotuseaters.com and subscribe to support us. We don't do any adverts. And you can also check out all of our premium content, such as our book club. This is a really excellent episode by Harry, based on a book called The Grey Lady Winked, which is all of those times where the New York Times was guilty of spreading a lot of fake news. It's a really, really good and informative look at how the New York Times is trading on a reputation it really doesn't deserve. And if you enjoy it, you can go and congratulate Harry on doing such a good job on getter.com, where he's at Harry Lotus Eater. Thanks very much.